Okay guys, it is time to talk about the reveals from Adepticon, cause holy hell, that was a lot to take in. There was a lot going on. I did not stay up late to watch them because I got sleep work. So over here in Ireland it started at 1 o'clock and it went on for nearly 2 hours. I'm going to bed at 3 o'clock in the morning. Just doesn't really work for me. So I got up and I basically ignored my phone, ignored every notification, every pinging message from every person under the sun. And I went and watched the entire live stream myself because I quite enjoy seeing it that way. And I was shocked by how awesome the stuff was and how I'm very excited. So I'm very excited to go through it with you, let you know my thoughts and feelings, basically share the reveals with you. So obviously we are going to start off with, there was the little videos and stuff like that. But obviously, we are returning to Armageddon in a very big way for a whole multiple, like lots of reasons. It's going to be the entire setting for the next edition of Warhammer 40,000. The starter box is going to be based around that, as we will see a little bit later on. Space Marines fighting orcs. But they're obviously giving us Wazdaka, and the campaign around Yarek's return is also going to be part of the Armageddon storyline. So I like that it's not like we have to wait till 11th edition actually kicks in before we start that whole story. We are delving into Armageddon already. Wazdaka is incredible. He is almost tipping into the realms of being a vignette more than being a miniature, if you know what I mean. He is so stylized and he is so wazzy that to me he feels a little bit weird to push a model like this around the table, like in so much motion. He feels like I've plucked him out of a diorama. And I'm not sure whether I love that or whether it's a little bit too much for me. I can't deny that it's absolutely beautiful. Let me know if you know what I mean in the comments. It's a little bit odd, but like I wouldn't change it. It's just a lot going on. Obviously he is awesome. I can't linger too long or else this video would be 2 hours long. We've obviously already seen Yarek and talked about Yarek. Very awesome model, very cool. But is he by any means the only guard stuff they've shown off? Ha, nope. We have another commissar. Commissar Graves. I wish they'd shown this one first because they showed her off in her on foot version first, but then she also comes with this, which is her own personal transport, and it's unbelievable. It's called what is it called? Fire Blood's Man. I can't remember the name of this thing. They told us the name of her. Barrel bolt pistol, whatever. Her Centaur Transport Vigilance. Which is a center. It's so cool. She has all of his observers. She's got 2 heavy stubbers in the back. Her personal heraldry. That's the symbol that we saw on the side of the on his thingy's jacket, and we were trying to work out what it was. It's her personal heraldry. It's an armored fighting vehicle that's going to stomp its way across Armageddon. And if this was just to appear like this, it would be kind of confusing and an odd choice to give us an armored transport commissar. But it makes a lot of sense when you realize that. I'll come back to that guy in a minute. It makes a lot of sense when you realize they're giving us not 1, but 2 new armored fighting vehicles for the Imperial Guard. First is the Centaur RSV, which is a light transport vehicle. It just has a heavy stubber, some smoke launchers, and transports a bunch of guys, which I think is a very cool way of doing it. I've always thought that a Chimera is obviously just too many points to have a really truly mechanized force. By the time you buy a kitted up guardsman squad and then you add a Chimera onto the top of it, you're talking 250 points, which is quite a lot. Whereas if we can get a cheap transport like this, which just has a heavy stubber and then transports 10 guardsmen around to objectives and stuff, I think that's absolutely incredible. It can be built to have the entire top canopy sealed if you don't want to paint like the extra crew and stuff like that. I don't know why you would do that. It's also so cool. And they talked about if it's for Steel Legion or Krieg, you would want a sealed canopy on top, which makes a lot of sense. The poison atmosphere of Armageddon is not very conducive to guys breathing it in. And then we have the Hippogriff AFV. I don't know what armored fighting vehicle. I guess that's what it stands for. It's so cool. It looks something like plucked straight out of like bolt action historical game and put into the realms of Warhammer 40,000, a whole bunch of unique weaponry. This to me, awesome. Cannot wait. So cool. Armageddon book, awesome. And then this box set is coming out. This is the battalion box set, which will give you 2 of the new armored fighting vehicles, 1 of the new transports. They're going to throw in a Rogaldorn tank and 10 guardsmen. So yippee, I might want to get my hands on 2 of these because I'm super greedy. They've also given us a new Sisters of Battle commander. She is one of the kind of upper echelon commanders of the forces leading Armageddon, and that's also who Gain is. That's why she is here. Or Graves, not Gain, sorry. So they're trying to put together like the overarching like command structure of Armageddon, which I think is an awesome idea. an awesome way to do it. And then they've obviously given us this Inquisitor Croyle, who he's the one that I'm a little bit iffy about. I think there's so much going on with him that there's too much going on with him. Maybe I'm wrong. You guys can let me know in the comments what do you feel about him, but there's just, my eyes hurt. It's like looking into the warp trying to understand what's going on with this model. I'm all for Inquisitors. I'm all for weird mounts, I think. He's the least... I'm not liking him, to be honest. It's one of those things where I might change my mind vastly when I get him in my hands and I see what he's actually like. But as it currently stands next to all these amazing releases, he for me is the weakest thing. Okay, so if we push our way past Armageddon and those initial releases, I'm going to skip some of the things because I don't think we really need. I'll show you very quick, but the Weta Workshop has shown off a new Mephiston statue. It's gigantic. It's beautiful. And we've seen a new White Scar's helmet from some other company. That's fine. So that's cool. They're showing off an Aeronautica Imperialis TV show kind of thing for Warhammer TV. Don't really care about that. This. A new kill team has been announced. The Red Terror hunts elite Cadians in the new kill team expansion. I cannot explain to you how cool this looks. So first of all, we have the new Red Terror, which is a glow up that was sorely needed. I think when the original Red Terror came out, it was an ugly model already. Like, I don't think it ever was a nice model. It was gross. And they still sold it for years and years and years and years on the website. It still may be available to buy currently on the Games Workshop website. And even me, who's a collector who wants all the models ever, never bought that thing. Never wanted it. This is such a glow up. He is absolutely stunning, or she's absolutely stunning, or it's absolutely stunning. It's obviously speedily writhing its way through these ruins and smashing great big boulders out of the side and statues into fragments, and see all the rock chips flying through the air. So it gives this sense of like fast and powerful movement, which I'm all for. The interesting thing about the kill team is it's designed to include large-scale creatures and hard targets. So the idea is the kill team has been sent in to assassinate the Red Terror. They've talked specifically about there's going to be a whole book of extra things you can add in. So like maybe a kill team, an alien kill team, or a chaos kill team is sent in to destroy a Redemptor Dreadnought on the battlefield. So adding those in as more narrative style missions, I really like. And then we get the Spectre kill team. These guys are unbelievable looking. They're unbelievable. My first thought was, I think I could do a Gaunt's Ghost army now because these guys look like Gaunt's Ghosts. They're awesome. The Veteran Sergeant is incredible. Bionic Arm, a lasgun with scope. And we have our Gunner with a plasma gun. We have the Sharpshooter, which is incredible. And then the Stub Gunner. Look at the Stub Gunner. Oh my god. So cool. Grenadier, grenades. Short, stockless lasgun, really like that. Then we have the longer variant of the lasgun and stuff for the field medic. Grenade launcher. Can we just take a moment to appreciate the grenade launcher team? He's got his boonie cap, not the boonie cap on, he's got his thingy cap on, extra rounds, a las pistol, which makes a lot of sense because he's carrying around munitions for the grenade team. Oh my god. Box operator, love this. Like, I want this squad 10 times over, and then I want the light transports and just fill them to the brim. I want an entire platoon of these guys in my Cadian army, the kind of light scouting infantry version. Yes, please. Yes. Some book stuff, that's fine. That's all cool. They've brought back the Amble and the, I don't know why they're calling it the Archivist. It's not an Archivist, it's the Zote. Why are they calling this the Archivist? That's a Zote, right? Yeah, the Zote. Oh, mysterious Zote, only known as the Archivist. Okay, it's a Zote. So a Zote and an Amble are coming back to be, once again, those creatures that some kill teams will be sent in to assassinate. Cool. So big kudos for the kill team. I was kind of like, who cares about what's going to come out for kill team? Oh, was I wrong? The Horus heresy, couldn't be more not bothered by this. Like, if you showed me this, I wouldn't be able to tell you that it's new in any way, shape, or form. It looks like all the other heresy tanks they've brought out. They really are just vomiting heresy tanks at us. This one is a tank we've already had, but they've made it a heavy boulder variant. So there's heavy boulders instead of las cannons here, and you get quad heavy boulders on both sides. I want to spend Spartan points to take heavy boulders. Like, are you insane? No. I want to transport a really deadly squad inside, and I want to have some serious firepower for my points. You can't take the big laser ray, which everyone is going to do. Even as an Imperial Fist player, like the boulders, I think, is a terrible option. So I don't know why they did this. I don't know. It was just such a not needed thing. Am I wrong? Tell me in the comments if I'm wrong. If there's some like niche in the heresy game where this thing slots in really well and it's something else that we already have doesn't fill that void. I don't know. Soul Auxilia are getting their Ogrins finally in plastic. Absolutely stunning sculpts. I have the resin versions of these. They're beautiful, but they're so expensive. So I'm so happy that people are going to get plastic versions, and we're going to hopefully see them on the tabletop a hell of a lot more. We're obviously getting our Rapier Fire Team batteries, both the quad mortars, the mole launchers, and then the heavy bolters and the quad las cannon version. Very, very cool. Very, very happy with this. I only managed to get one heavy bolter and one las cannon team in resin before they stopped selling them. I don't know why they stopped selling them, but they did. New book, that's fine. So for the heresy, I kind of was hoping, because like if I could take this super heavy away and give the Soul Auxilia their land battleship Titan thing, I would do that in a heartbeat. I think that would have been a bigger use of time, but you know, that's just me. And we're skipping stuff, and we're skipping. I don't really want to go into the Underworld tab. Some people play Underworlds. It's not really for me. The gang is beautiful. It is Lumineth Realm Lords. There's a weird fox thingy. There's 2 archers. Someone with a spear and a lantern. And then some wind mage character with a fan and elemental magic is flowing out of the bottle. And it's kind of cool. I'm a big Middle-earth fan, as you guys know. So this is big news for me. We are getting new plastic Rohan cavalry. I kind of expected to see this sooner. Especially with the new plastic infantry that we got with the launch of the War of the Huron box set. I figured it was only a matter of time before we got the cavalry to go alongside of it. They do not disappoint. They're just gorgeous. So I'm probably going to have to... a Rohan army is something I've always wanted. I do own a Rohan army, but I've never put all my time and effort into building and painting it. Now that there's new models on the horizon, I think I'm just going to wait. I'm going to get like 12 of these new guys and just paint them up and have a Rohan force made of newer, more... skull. Oh, cool. They come with the option to exchange their hand weapons for throwing weapons, throwing spears on all the models, which is great. We're getting a new Rohan commander set, which bodes well for all the other commander sets, because they've given commander sets for all the Lord of the Rings forces before, but they were all resin or metal. The metal ones were fine. The resin ones were not fine. So the fact that they're now moving forward and giving them those in plastic, yes, give me this for every single faction in Old World, and I will, in Old World, in Middle Earth, and I will be super, super happy. The commander can obviously be made in a bunch of different variants. There you've seen an option with him where he's got his helmet on and he's got a big armored chest plate, which is very cool. We've gotten some new characters for the War of the Rohirrim stuff. Some of the Wildman characters, Banner Bearer, Champion Musician, the Oathmaker, which can be made from the Champion. That's all very cool. New book, The Burning of the Westfold. All very good. I'm not really into the Rohirrim expansion they're currently doing following that animated movie. It's just not really for me, so I tend to skip the characters and stories that go alongside that. Now we move on to... like, I shouldn't be starting here. I should have been starting with all the other characters, but let's start at the bottom. And so they've given us Cities of Sigmar. I own a Cities of Sigmar army. It's incredible. The Regiment of Renown is fine. It's just models we already have seen. A new starter thingy box. We've seen all those models before. These are a bunch of the new models, but let's try and find them in their unique glory. So first of all, we have the Grenadiers, which are hefty people. They talked about these being the brutes, the guys that are going to get sent in to kind of clear buildings or deal with any tough foes in tight city fights. They've got some pretty like dangerous looking kind of cudgel axe weapons. They've got blunderbuss. They got a freaking flamethrower. These models are very cool, very up my alley. And then they've gone for the Free Guild Gallants, which I think when we got that limited edition Rook model last year, we didn't realize that we were looking at the first Gallant model, if you know what I mean, because that's where that model belongs, I feel. So basically, it's a unique bunch of foot knights taken from a whole bunch of different places. So they look very mismatched, but they make a very elite foot troop unit for your Cities of Sigmar. A new model that represents the Warrior Priest variant. There's an alternate head that I think is a lot better than this one. It's just like bald and it looks like a Warrior Priest. So you just take away that head, which I'm not mad on, put the bald head back on it. Absolutely incredible. We have the heir of the Kraken. He is a pet panther. So, yes. He looks like a really dangerous, like, fencer. He's got a deft blade, but then he's got all these smaller blades everywhere. And he looks very scary, very menacing. I'm very, very cool character. So, he's awesome. A floating shrine that they bring around with them, which commemorate the dead and fallen of the Crusade. Very cool. They talk about perhaps when they finally reach their kind of final spot, they find where they want to set up their city. Maybe this thing then gets planted in the ground, becomes like the town square. So everyone always remembers the sacrifice it took to get the city here and get it started up. An awesome piece. I think every Age of Sigmar tournament should buy 3 of these, spray them bronze, silver, and gold, and give them out as the trophies, because I think they just look like an awesome trophy. That's just me. Then we have a pair of giants. A pair of giants. They're called Gate Gargants. And basically, they work as a moving wall. So you have all the other free guild units to the side with all the big shields up, everything like that, and then the enemy just crashes against all the shields, including these big gates, and then, you know, the firepower and muskets and the goddamn big cannons that are in the crow's nest of these 2 Gargants fire down. They thin the ranks, and then the Gargants literally open the doors by spraying their arms out, which then releases the gallants and all the extra free guild units. You kind of charge out of that breach and then attack the enemy. So it's a very cool, very funky little idea. I'm here for it. I can't wait to paint those guys. Then we've gotten every wacky wizard under the sun. One that she looks concussed, or like she belongs in a padded room after being constantly bombarded by these clock hand hammers tolling the bell which is on her head. Why she thought that was a good idea, I don't know. Does it look awesome? Yes. Fire wizard, unbelievable. Like, so sold on this as a piece. Definitely going to go into an old world Empire army for me. There's nothing more I can say about that. If someone said I want you to redesign an Empire wizard to go in the College of Fire, and they showed me this, sorry, I just keep hitting the microphone. And then we have this weird character, which is Erasmus Zon, the Enlightened One. And the story behind him is the Lumineth Realm Lords has taught him their ways of kind of magic and stuff. And he has passed their college. It's kind of like the old world story where the High Elves taught the Empire Wizards magic. And then he's got the most ridiculous looking mount ever. It's got a goat. It's got a griffin. It's got a snake. I don't know if I like it. I don't know if I love it. I don't know whether I hate it. It's really hard to tell. But it's unique. And then they've given us the Cogfort. The most ridiculously cool model that I've ever seen. It is stupendous. Like, incredible piece of engineering. I love it. I love it. Give me 10 of them right now. Don't give me 10 of them. 1 is enough. Yeah, I love it. I can't wait to get my hands on this. I can't wait to build and paint it up. And get it on a tabletop sometime soon. It's just the epitome of madness. And I love it. One thing I don't like, though, is Games Workshop has made it available for every single faction in Age of Sigmar. They're like, yeah, anybody could take it. Anybody. Anybody. And to me, that's not the mindset of a game in a healthy place. It feels kind of desperate that they're like, we spend a lot of time and money developing this thing, and there's not enough Cities of Sigmar players to make it worth it. So we'll just let everybody take it. You know what I mean? I don't like that. I don't want that. I want it to be a Cities of Sigmar thing. Let me know what you think about that in the comments as well. I find that as a really bizarre last minute thing. There's 2 variants you can build. One which has gigantic cannons and it just shoots and it destroys everything. And then one which has a giant flamer and a sally port and it literally has a transport capacity. So those gallants and stuff can be stored inside of it. The giant flamer will sweep across the enemy lines, destroying most of them. The gates will open, the drawbridge will lower, the gallants will charge out and finish the end. So I think that's a really cool thing. So yes. Now this is exciting for me in a very different reason. So this is a new box set coming out. How did I tell what the box set is called? Anyway, it brings 2 brand new spearheads. I don't play spearhead, so that's not why it excites me. You get some of the new Cities of Sigmar models. Very good. You get some new Age of Sigmar, Cities of Sigmar scenery, as if from a destroyed area in the city. I think that's a very cool. I love that. And they're all great. No one can deny that, but it's really the new Skaven that I'm super excited for, because I've wanted to do a Skaven army for Warhammer the Old World for the longest time. And Clan Eshin has always been my favorite Skaven warg band. clan, if you will. And now we can finally do it. They've given us Night Runners, Gutter Runners, and a new Death Master, all in a single box. And I must say the results are stunning. So 10 times yes, please. Give me these. I'm going to put them all on square bases. I'm going to play Old World with them. It's going to be amazing. Here's the basic troops. You can see they're quite lightly armored, but they're still wearing their black cloth. They've got a few sharp daggery blades, and they've got their slings. They're going to be their Death Stars. So cool. And then it goes up to the Gutter Runners, which are the more elite versions of them. And obviously they're wearing a lot more black, a lot more shrouded, a lot better at hiding and concealing themselves. You can see they've started to have poisoned weapons, a few more exotic weapons with like poisoned punch daggers, smoke grenades, and all sorts. So yes, please. And then a new Death Master as well to go alongside it. So this is going in my Old World army. You can enjoy it for Spearhead all you want, but I know what I'm going to do with them. The last thing we have is, of course, the new Warhammer 40th. They gave us the launch video for that, which showed us a whole host of awesome things, including a look at what the new intercessors, not new intercessors, but intercessors in the new 11th edition box set look like. They talk about the fact that attrition, damaged equipment and stuff has slowly needed the armories of old to be opened, and for older pieces of armor to have to be incorporated into the Mark 10 and Primaris stuff. So this guy's a standard traditional Mark 7 Space Marine helmet, which I think we all agree is the nicest looking Space Marine helmet ever. And seeing it like stacked on top of a Primaris Marine, it's bleak. In the box set, they talked a lot about a lot of rule changes and stuff, which I think is really cool. I could do a whole separate video on what I thought about that, and I still might, because the rules are something that I struggle with quite a lot. So maybe some of the changes will do exactly what I need them to do, and maybe won't. I don't know. They've given us a new Orc Boy, and I called the rules for this weeks ago. I knew they were going to go for Slappa, Chugga, Shooter, a Choppa, and a Slugga, all mixed into one Orc. They were just going to have a ramshackle assortment, and they would all have everything, because the old Orc boys they just brought out a while ago, it's a 10-man squad, and they're all mixed. Some have Choppas and some have Shooters, so it didn't make a lot of sense. And I think this makes a lot of sense. An Orc's going to have everything at his disposal. It's an Orc, for God's sake. So yes, you're going to have pistols to fire off in close combat. He's going to have a Shooter to fire when he's charging across the battlefield, and you're going to get chopped up by his axe in combat. So I think that saves so much. It's going to let you have that ramshackled, I think I've forgotten how to speak, that ramshackle looking Orc unit, not the uniformed, 20 shooters in a row kind of thing, or not very, make a lot of sense. So yeah. Oh yeah, there's the stuff we talked about with the rules. Do I have time to do with the rules? I don't know how long we've been recording for. 23 minutes. Yeah, screw it. We can talk about the rules. Why not? Or do I save that for the end? I guess I'm going to do the rules as a separate video. I think that makes the most sense. But yeah, I'm going to do that. I'm going to stop this recording here. Thank you guys so much, as always, for sticking around, enjoying my thoughts and feelings on the reveals. My favorite thing that I got from the reveals is the Cog Fort and the new Imperial Guard tanks. I love the Cadians. I've got quite a nice, respectable Cadian force being built up with all new models. So these will be a very welcomed addition to that. And I think I'll be stomping Cadians across the world of Armageddon very, very soon. So if you enjoyed the video, give it a like. Make sure you're subscribed, and make sure you check out Patreon if you want a chance of winning an awesome Battle Force box set this month, which we will reveal at the end. So thank you guys so much as always. I'll see you